I'm an expert at mines within Flashpoint campaign Southern Storm, and you will be one too at the end of this video. You need to have a firm understanding of the SOP manager before we really dive into how mines work within this game. But we're gonna talk about it from basic all the way to advanced. So let's just start with the basics. As you see here, we have several different colored mines on the battle map. Right here, there are undiscovered mines. We need to discover those mines, and they will be red. Those are the enemy mines. The blue ones are friendlies, and the small circles or the yellow ones are minelets, and yellow just means neutral. You can have blue minelets, you can have red minelets. Minelets only cause mobility damage or mobility kills for vehicles, whereas the bigger ones will actually just cause full-on elimination or just destruction of that vehicle. All mines consist of anti-personnel and anti-vehicle. So even the minelets and even the big mines are anti-personnel and anti-vehicle, so anti-tank. So you have combat engineers. Combat engineers are essential to clearing minefields, but more importantly, they are essential to discovering minefields. And we're going to talk about tactics within Flashpoint campaigns on how to use them. Combat engineers will never suffer casualties while moving through a minefield, whether hostile, friendly, or neutral. We also have tanks and units. The game talks about mine plows within the game. That is not a feature that I've discovered. I don't know which units have mine plows. If you do, leave a comment down below and I would like to check them out. So, like I said, this is all about the SOP manager. It's everything to do with the SOP manager. If you don't have a firm understanding of the SOP manager, you may struggle a little bit, but you will come to understand why we're talking about it. So the first thing I want to talk about is Minefield contact. Minefield contact is the unit's response when entering a minefield. You have three options: ignore and run, in-stride breach, and stop and reduce. So ignore and run I find a bit confusing. I'll explain that right now. Ignore and run. Do not delay and accept the potential for more sub-unit losses when crossing the field. They use accept with the E, so means to exclude, so EXCEPT. I believe they mean to use the A, so ACCECPT or CEPT, which means you are accepting those losses, but you are going to punch through that minefield regardless. Now, we have in-stride breach. We've seen this on combat videos from Ukraine. We've seen this basically everywhere in the world. What that means is you are kind of getting in a single file line, either behind the toe or if you've opened up a path. In the game, in-stride breach, units slow down and follow the leader through the minefield, hoping to avoid mines when traveling by following the same tracks. Very straightforward. As you see, like a lot of the strategies with minefields, like the technologies change, but the strategies kind of tend to be the same. Stop and reduce. So stop and reduce means exactly what it means. Your units will halt and either wait for engineers to remove enough mines to open a path, or the units will do the work themselves. All right, that is the absolute basics of minefield contact. The strategies, I mean, if you run into a minefield, you can kind of expect to get mortared, artilleried, and ATGM'd. I mean, why else would a minefield be there other than to obstruct you, slow you down, and kind of create a target-rich environment? Now, we're going to step it up a little bit. We're going to get a little bit more advanced. And before we do that, we're going to close the SOP manager and just jump to the SOP manager, because I'm not gonna break this up. So one thing we need to talk about right now is relocate when. So right here you have several options to relocate, and this is an extremely cool complex tool, but it's defaulted to after taking any losses. If you stumble into a minefield and take a loss with relocate active, your units will not conduct their in-stride breach. They will not stop and ignore, and they will not stop and lift mines. They will immediately relocate out of that minefield. That is critical, that's crucial, and you need to understand that. You need to update the relocate when option. Otherwise, when you stumble into that minefield and you suffer a loss, your units are just going to go, oh, I'm told to relocate when taking a loss, even though I'm in a minefield, so I need to leave. All right. So what we need to do is we need to say relocate never. We're just going to say never. That's not exactly what we want to do, but that's fine. So we're going to relocate never, and we're going to say stop and reduce. So what's going to happen is this tank is going to drive into the minefield. If he takes a loss, he's not going to ignore minefield contact, and he's going to stop and reduce. One thing I'm not sure of is how if he's going to stop and reduce the initial one, or if he's going to proceed all the way through. So we're going to test that right now. So this tank is going to, right, clear these minefields. He's going to stop and reduce each one of them as he comes in contact with them. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to have this engineer move north up here, and he's going to discover minefields for you, because you need to learn that engineers can discover minefields. Next thing we're going to learn is this engineer unit right here is going to move hasty into this area. You will only be presented with the option to clear mines if there are mines there. So if I were to delete this unit and I know there's mines in this position right here, commit, I do not have the option to clear those mines. Now if I tell this guy, hey, move hasty and clear these mines right here, I cannot move this waypoint. I cannot delete this waypoint. In order to delete this waypoint, I need to delete the order. So I come in here, I right click lift mines option, and I say delete order, and I say apply. I can now just do whatever I want with this order. It doesn't matter. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift these mines for you. He's going to clear those mines. That way we can kind of see the symbol of them getting reduced. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this unit. This guy's stop and reduce. This unit right here is going to be in stride breach. So I'm going to go SOP manager. We're going to say relocate when, never. We're going to say in stride breach. We're going to say apply to this unit. We're going to say close. We're going to say move hasty. He's going to move through these minefields. Just like that. If he comes across any minefield, he is going to in stride breach them. I wonder if I can move this one a bit further. So I know he's going to come in contact with minefields right there because I placed the minefields. All right. Are you ready? Now we're going to hit start. All right. Minefield 1 comes in contact, does not relocate. Minefield 1 comes in contact, does not relocate. Continues his in stride breach. God, in stride breach is like so worthless though. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this window really big. If we can. Okay, this window is really important for us because we can kind of see what our units are doing. So, minefield lifted hex 2113, engineer unit, new orders, engineer minefield lifted. Yep, we know that. What we're looking for is unit spotted a minefield, unit loses commando. This is our mechanized unit, destroyed while in transport, unit delayed for an extra 7 minutes by minefield. So what we're looking, tank with move hasty into hex, readiness, no enemy units spotted. Tank starts reducing the minefield, right? So even though we took casualties, he is going to execute the minefield maneuver. He's going to execute it. He's going to lift the mines up and take them somewhere else. That's what he's going to do. That's what he was allocated to do. Oh, I just closed that. That's forever lost now. I don't know how to get it back. Okay. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to delete this order. Now what I want him to do, we're going to demonstrate something else. We're going to go over here and we're going to say relocate after taking any losses. He's still with stop and reduce. We're going to say apply. So if this unit suffers any losses, he is going to immediately deviate from what he's doing and not stop and reduce. You'll see. This unit is still pushing through. He is just going to push through. That's perfectly fine. I'll show you. We'll kind of do, we'll change him up. Hopefully I can figure out what menu's lost now. All right. I'm going to pull this unit back. I don't really want him to get spotted by anyone. Not that it matters. And then actually if you're like, so let's do this real quick. If you're on a unit, you can kind of just say lift mines too, and they'll start lifting mines right there. Or we say move hasty. Commit, he will move off that position, which is fine. Then we're going to move this unit off as well, which is fine. All right, everyone's moving. This unit's fine. This unit's moving forward. He's going to come in contact with that minefield. If he suffers any losses, which we cannot guarantee, he will relocate. So we're going to drive him into 2 minefields. For some reason, that guy wants to come fight us, so I guess we're going to fight real quick. Get a little... God, he does not like that infantry unit. Dude is dumping bullets into him. Huh. All right, we're going to still proceed. All right, he's backing off. This unit's still doing what he's doing. Moves in that minefield, discovers it. All right, so now he's going to scoop. So what that tank's going to do now is, instead of stopping and reducing, if I could figure out how to bring this menu back up, info overlay, radio log display. All right, yep. If we click on this unit, you can see he's like, oh, you know, originally he was coming down south or wherever. He's like, yo, no, pound sand, bro. I'm getting out of here. And right, we can see that right here. Tank suffers losses. Even though he stumbled in that minefield, even though he has a stop and reduce, he is going to ignore that stop and reduce, and he's going to just run away. Not that there's anything wrong with running away. That's just what he's ordered to do. So that's why it's important to understand the SOP manager. So if we send this right here back to never, and we apply to this unit, and we hit close, he's still stop and reduce, and we send him back to this minefield. If he takes any losses, or if he comes in contact with this minefield, he'll stop and he'll reduce it. Minefield doesn't look like that reduced that he like kind of made. Just like that. So he's going to move into this minefield, discover it, stop and reduce it. This unit right here, what's going on with him? He is never relocate in stride breach. He's going to ignore and run. So basically, he's just going to have a terrible time. All that's going to happen is he's going to suffer a lot of casualties. Unless he rolls like a natural 20. All right, minefield, minefield. Does he do it? Does he do it? All right, he does it. Start again. I think this guy's... no, he's not immobilized. He's got a black arrow. I don't remember what the black arrow means. There he goes. All right, starts reducing minefield. Perfectly fine. Cool. Okay. So, minefields, strategies, tactics, and everything around them are, I mean, not much has changed. If you come in contact with a minefield, you have two options, or several options. You can either drive through them, clear them, ignore them. As far as where that box is with like our combat box or our tactics within Flashpoint campaign Southern Storm, how we like resolve that or figure that out is basically what we think the hostile situation is going to be. Here we didn't have too much because we were demonstrating everything, but our engineers are always going to scout the mines, so they're going to discover the mines. They can operate freely within the minefield. Our tanks, IFVs, headquarters units, anything else like that, they cannot operate freely within the minefield, so we need to manage our SOPs and our expectations, and we need to kind of conduct the combined arms operations. Our engineers are very valuable units. We don't want them kind of driving into the minefield, discovering them for us. I'm sorry to say that, but you're not going to, your engineers aren't your frontline forces. They're just not. Your recon units need to recon properly. Your engineers need to follow up and clear them. Your engineers need to have enough cover to conduct their operation, and your tanks need to be able to move freely on the battlefield, right? So overall, it's an extremely complex task, and how you manage it is up to you. Beyond all of that, it's a really fun mechanic. It's really interesting. I really like it. It creates a lot of potential even for like small scenarios. And I hope they add the mine plow in all honesty. And I hope you guys like the video. So like, comment, subscribe, and I hope there was enough in-depth detail. Oh, airplane units. They cannot hit mines. So your jet will not blow up a mine. Your helicopter will not blow up a mine. Even though they're on the map above a mine, they are not going to detonate the mine. Peace.